All right, so this is podcast number two. So this topic, I took a while to gather what I wanted to record, and then I stumbled upon this. So basically, it's about growth and my journey from then till now, and basically finding myself as I progress through life. So is from then till now. So I basically where I want to start this is from secondary school, coming into school, not sure what path I want to take, not sure what I want to do as an individual, if I'm being honest with you. And going into secondary school, like the thing that I loved the most, or the thing that I grew to love the most, was cricket. Like that was my escape from everything. And the reality about it is that growing up, like I always wanted to use cricket as something that I would be happy with. I would make an income from. So I took cricket seriously going through secondary school. And to be honest, I wasn't the best cricketer, whatever the case is, but each step of the way I grew. Not sure if I would actually make it, not sure if I would actually, I don't know, make teams, whatever. And the reality about it is that going through school, I knew that I was supposed to have a backup plan. But the thing is, I never knew what I wanted my backup plan to be. And I think, how to put this, like going through secondary school, I did a 1 year program that was at Sport for Life. It was basically like educating young sport persons about different things: math, English, photography, just don't know why all of a sudden that, but basically exposing young sports persons to different aspects, making sure that up they're up to par with their math and English. There was like taekwondo, cricket, football, um other things. And we got opportunities to interact with different professionals coming through, mostly cricket. Especially when it was regionals, we got to speak to the players, interact, whatever. And in that, we basically had an opportunity to understand the professional setup behind a lot of things. And then moving forward from that, I graduated from that program after a year. And moving forward from that, I did an umpiring certificate. Like I wasn't entirely sure if I wanted to do that, because umpiring wasn't something that I saw myself interested in or anything like that. So then it was actually, well, both programs. It was Mr. Osborne that recommended, from foundation school, that recommended that I try the umpiring, because it was basically just getting exposed to different things. And like at that point in time, like I was reluctant about pursuing this certificate. So it was, I can't remember the time frame, but I think it was like a month and a half or 2 months to complete the certificate. And I passed, and then I became a certified umpire. I had opportunities umpiring, but that wasn't what I wanted to do. Like personally, like I was not happy like just umpiring, because like for me, I saw cricket, like playing cricket, as the only thing that I wanted to be involved in. So it was just something that I had. And like moving more current, like in terms of um actually playing cricket, like I saw like progression, I saw myself getting better. And like I didn't want to give up on my dream. But then it was probably like 3 back-to-back years, constant injuries. And then around that same time, like I saw myself getting opportunities, doing different things. Like I started a cricket blog. That was when I was in secondary school. Not sure what direction exactly I wanted the channel to go, but I just started. And the thing about it is that I started with like training videos. I started with like videos. How was it? It was videos documenting like certain of those series. And then looking back, I had like some videos like portraying what West Indies fans would do and stuff like that. Like that was like the direction I wanted the channel to be, like a fun vibe sort of everyday, like just cricket. And the more like I progressed with it, I fell off a bit with it. The more I progressed with it, it was more like recording reviews for different series. And so for a while I was stuck on that. Then I started creating like posts on teams being announced and things around that direction. I changed the logo, I changed the setup of the channel, and I saw progression. And then through it, the personal battles, stuff going on in life, I cut back from it, but I started to go back on it again. And through that, I got an opportunity to be a Barbados Royals ambassador through one of my mentors, Tahir Babulia. And then from there, I think the following year, then I got an opportunity, was one of the persons selected to do a CPL marketing marketing certificate slash internship, sport marketing. And it was part of the marketing team. It was an amazing experience, knowing how a tournament on a scale such as the CPL works. And like through all of this, like I'm not sure what direction I want to take. And just doing the certificate and excelling in it, getting a lot of opportunities, meeting a lot of new people, and just networking. And I saw it as something that I really enjoyed. Like I was talking to someone the other day, was saying that it was like hardcore, like running from point A to point B, or making sure that I have content sent off at a particular time and moving just. And it was for extensive like period of time in terms of like hours in a day. And personally, like mentally, I was not tired. Like it was something that I was really enjoying. But looking back at it, it was like, how did I do that? Like up and down for so much hours on different days. And I just saw it as fun, like playtime. And for other people, they might see it as work or whatever. But I just saw it as something that I really enjoyed. And for me, like marketing is something that I really like enjoy doing, like creating content, like reaching out to people in different ways that they may like or may appeal to them. That's the correct word I'm looking for. So like in terms of that, and then obviously I was at BCC, and in terms of BCC, I did sport management. And the funny story about it is that when I applied for the program at BCC, it was physical education. Because at first, my initial thinking was like, if I'm not going to sixth form and I go to BCC, I'm going to do physical education, get into coaching and stuff like that, inspire young sports person, probably be a PE teacher. Like that was my mindset basically. Because as I tell you, like it wasn't like a clear direction, and like that was just something to hold on to. It seemed like a secure plan at a time, and I went into it. But the thing is that I didn't know that BCC, I think they currently still do that, is like every other year the program that is offered for in terms of sport changes. So when I was accepted into BCC, it was actually not physical education, it was sport management. And it wasn't even like I went to um it was an interview. It was an interview. Trying to remember if it was an interview. I think they called you in and it was like an interview or something like that. Results were not back as yet. But anyhow, I was accepted into the program. I started, and it's only like in terms of like actually getting to BCC that I realized that it wasn't physical education, it was sport management. So it was something that I embraced and then embraced quickly. So then looking past this, and right, so looking past this, it was something that I had to adapt to and be open minded about it. So it had a very good tutor at BCC, Miss Oxley. She really looked out for me in terms of like gearing me toward being a sport professional. Like, and the first semester at BCC was really hard in terms of adapting, in terms of everything, because it's a different environment altogether from secondary school, different types of people. It was just different. And after the first semester, it was COVID and stuff, so it wasn't really a lot of face-to-face interactions. It was presentations and stuff like that, and like I really grew to love the area of management in general and sport management in particular. So then it was a field that I really enjoyed. So along with doing like cricket blogs and things like that, to add sport management into the mix, it gave me like a overall like I feel like the field of sport and management and marketing, like the whole area, like I feel like this is where I belong. And after that is when it was in between going to UE and just finishing BCC, when the sport management, the sport marketing internship at BCC started. I mean, at CPL started, and in between there, it was in between there. What did I do? Right, in between there, I also had an internship at a gym where I learned more about management in terms of like it's a gym, memberships, pricing of items, stocking, managing stock, making sure equipment is in proper working order. So I learned a lot from that experience, and then moving into actual work, like BCC was finished. I finished BCC early, which would have been after the first semester. So my internship and everything was finished. My case study already sent in, and after that, I was looking for a job because personally, like there wasn't anything else to do, and I didn't want to just be at home sitting down doing nothing. So right, so reaching out to different businesses, different establishments. Like, I wanted to have a job in sport. I wanted to have an opportunity in sport. And right, and I wanted to have an opportunity in sport. So what happened was I applied to different sporting organizations. I reached out to different sporting organizations, and it was without it was without success, basically. And to be honest, like I felt like I wanted to give up, and I changed my perspective about it, trying to grow out of just sport and try something else. Maybe I could learn something from another opportunity, another venture. So then I went into working at a well-known clothing store. It was something that I had to be very open minded about at first, and then like I gained a lot of experience, I gained a lot of knowledge in terms of dealing with persons in a workplace setup. And then like for me, like I thought of the experience as in, all right, you know what? Like obviously I'm not a manager, obviously I'm not a supervisor, but maybe I could manage myself, or manage the way that I work, or manage the way that things that I do could improve the workplace within within the space that I'm given. So then like I saw myself like going from just coming to work to actually enjoying coming to work, making the customers smile, making the customers feel welcome, making just making the experience for both me and whoever is around me a good experience. And from then I moved to the internship because that was after BCC. It was after BCC, then it was the job, and then the internship. And this is all coming into UE. So then after the job, I really appreciated that experience. And then in between there, I also got like a training session in customer service and different things like that. So I completed that certificate for the job. It was a program that they were doing, and the internship. And then obviously I wasn't working at the job anymore because school was starting back, and my initial thought about it was maybe I can't do this and school at the same time. I can't handle this. Like I just knocked it out. And the thing about it is that right, and the thing about it is that in like dismissing the whole idea of it, like I sort of became like lazy in a sense, because like in between there, like working at the establishment and going into the internship, I started a business. I started Retail Rocket. And the funny story about Retail Rocket, like I had a whole well, before I get there, I had a whole like plan of how I would have put each section of this podcast, and I feel like I just mix it together because you could tell that I went from one area to the next, but then I fill you in between. But I hope that you guys still follow it. But um, in terms of like Retail Rocket, right? So the funny story about it is that I started Retail Rocket and I saw it as something. You know what? I'm good at sales. I'm good at like management and stuff. Maybe I can manage my own business. Maybe I could start my own business. So then I started to look on different websites on different items that I think that persons would buy, or things that I would buy that I think that I could sell to persons. So then I started buying different products and stuff like that. I then paid to have the business name registered and stuff like that. And in between like the first 6 or 7 months of having the business, like I saw a lot of profits. And the thing about it is that I think that in terms of business and understanding like the workings of everything, like I learned a lot because after that period of time of just collecting profits and feeling like, all right, you know what, this really working and looking for my next step, the business started to record like big losses. And the way that I would say big losses, for example, like I would at first it was shipping mistakes, it was shipping errors that I ran into that caused losses. And then on top of that, like in terms of bringing in 20 or 25 items and only getting to sell 20, or the recording losses in terms of like shipping and things being damaged and stuff like that. And when you add that together plus with 5 items for the 25 that not being sold, you run into problems. And like I saw that happening to the business, and to be honest, like I felt like I lost like my sense of like composure in terms of like how I can run this business, how I can recover this business. And like things fell off, and each time I wanted to start it back or like try something different, like I ran into a similar sort of like problem in terms of it. So like I just say that to say like it's not about just everything that you're winning all the time. Like sometimes you record a lot of losses. Right. So you record a lot of losses. And the thing about it is that from that experience, like it was not like overly like upset about it. Like I just saw it as, you know what, maybe this is just like an experience that I could learn a lot from, because in terms of like shipping items, understanding like how to market things, that it changed my overall perspective of things. And for me personally, like in terms of like selling items, I still like sell one or two items and like one or two types of products, but then it wasn't on the scale that I was uploading things onto the actual business page and selling it through the page. Sorry, it was more of me just having an item, selling it, and just that's the end of it. And I think in terms of like rebuilding, that's something that I would like to rebuild. The page is still there. I still have the documentation, whatever, for the business name. And like for me, like I think that I won't start it back up, but it's something that I have to then focus on, or something that I have to then plan about and do it differently this time. Now, in terms of like new ventures, obviously this podcast is new. I started the TAT visuals. It was something else before. I can't remember what it was before, but TAT visuals, which is basically like a snapshot of different things that I may do in my experiences dealing with sport, and my experiences dealing with anything in general. Like for example, like I was at work and they saw a nice condor plane, took a picture, amazing snapshot, and I just thought maybe like it's just an expression, like take something, and that's just a way that I can express myself, like my journey. And yeah, so this could be a little bit more in depth. This could be a little bit more um broken down into different parts, but this is just like a general idea of like how like I grew towards what I would say my journey, like in terms of what I'm doing now or what I want to achieve. But I think the thing that I miss out is in terms of path, like in case that message was lost in between. For me, I think that in terms of my journey, like I just want to help persons, and I just want to be incorporated in sport in some aspect, whether it be on a management aspect, or whether it be marketing, whether it be broadcasting. Like I think like I just found like a generalized area that I feel comfortable about, and an area that I feel like I could just progress and like grab at opportunities as I go. And like as a person, like looking back, like where I'm proud of where I am in a space that I know, all right, you know what, I don't have to be worried about a career path. I don't have to be worried about what my future gonna look like, because like, I'm comfortable in a particular area, but at the same time, I know well, right, I comfortable in a particular area, but at the same time, if an opportunity arises that is not exactly in that area, I could still adapt and use the skills that I learned or the skills that I develop through different things, different opportunities, and I could use that to execute. And yeah, that's basically the end of this podcast. It's just like an introduction, me an introduction of like part of my journey, because obviously that can't be my full journey that I just talk about, but is like the major areas of it. And I hope you guys like gather something from it. I hope you guys enjoy the video. It was my authentic sort of take on growing up, an authentic take of me figuring out myself. So let me know what you think. And Something I need to mention also is that if you guys want to come on and sit down and have a discussion about me with me about different topics, different social issues, different things that may be going on, different things that you think may that have to be addressed. And in terms of what I have planned, like I want to bring on, there are a few persons that I have, right? So there are a few persons that I have on the show, well, coming to be on the show. I talked to some persons in terms of um actually being on the show, talking about their experiences, talking about their businesses. And then you also have some persons that want to talk about issues. Also got some persons that want to talk about sport. But all gonna come in time. Stay tuned with it. Stay tuned on the journey with me, and yeah, just stick around. And I'm sure that you're gonna like it. We're gonna have some adventures. We're gonna have some things that we're gonna really enjoy. So stay tuned for the journey once again. Like, share, comment, subscribe, follow. Just support the thing.